You determine prices as a service-based business? I guess because there's so much, I don't know. I guess it's still relative to products where you have competition and you have to kind of fit yourself somewhere along the lines of that competition.
Yeah, prices for products are determined by how good you are at creating demand. So if you have no demand for your services, you really aren't in a strong spot to dictate any price point.
Sorry, you said for products or services.
Yeah.
Which one?
Or both.
Yeah, got it.
So it's why when people get into real estate as a realtor, there are many people who get into real estate, for example, they're not good at creating demand for themselves. So what do? They discount their commission rate as their selling point. They'll tell people, hey, I'll list your home for like, not 2.5, 2, or not, that person's saying 2, I'll do it for 1.5, or I'm not doing it for 1.5, I'll do it for 1, or I'll do it for half, or I'll do it for like almost nothing to just kind of do it. And it's the weakest form of business. And it all comes down to your inability or lack of understanding on how to generate demand for your services. And when you can generate enough demand for your services, you can raise your prices really high. You can raise your prices. I mean, look at like something like chocolate. There's chocolate that you can buy at Walmart for like a bag of it, I don't know, for like a few bucks. Then there's chocolate you can go to, Purdy's or a high-end chocolate store and spend $50 on a box of chocolate. Well, one place understands packaging and how to kind of wrap it up. It's probably very similar. Let's face it. At least a bunch of the ingredients are very similar. One just understands how to create demand for it. One doesn't.
What about just pure quality of the product? Like I went to this bakery, San Remo Bakery in Etobicoke, and because everyone's hyping this place up. So I was in the area, so we stopped off, and it's like you've got to park down the street. The parking situation's horrible. Then you walk up, and it's like a lineup outside the door to
Where
get
is
in.
it? I got to go here.
It's in Etobicoke. I don't know Toronto that well. But
Right. Thanks.
off Royal York, maybe?
You know how to get there, though.
I'll send you the name. Google Maps.
Royal York.
Yeah.
Damn. What Google Maps has done to the younger generation.
People ask
Where is it? I have no idea. I just punch it into GPS.
People ask me where my properties are in St. Catharines. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know them. Hartsel? Like, I don't know. I just put it in my map.
Yeah. Oh
it's
my
terrible.
gosh. No, yeah.
But also,
It is terrible.
who the heck, who cares? I have Google Maps. I don't need to know this information.
Okay,
anymore.
so what? They have quality ingredients. So they
Anyways, yeah. So I'm like, but it was really good quality. So I'm like, did they just, and it's been around for like 50 years, but did they just stick with really high quality products for 50 years and then that generated the demand? Because they don't seem to have any crazy marketing going on. It's like the marketing is just creating these products that people go bananas for, and then it hypes it up and people say, that place, their cannolis are so good. You got to try it.
Yeah, they're benefiting from 50 years, and maybe the quality ingredients where they kept the ingredients at a certain level, other bakeries changed it, and then they got a name for themselves through word of mouth that created this demand. Sure. But
yeah, it almost seems like you can have crappy marketing if you have a great product.
Yeah, whatever it takes. It's just you have to understand. I mean, like you can separate business into 3 levels. There's principles of business, strategies, and tactics. And most people will just talk about tactics, like change the price of this, or do this on Instagram, or do this on YouTube. Those are tactics. Strategies might be, can we do a multi-point follow-up system with clients in a very strategic way and offer enough value that they're going to walk in our place of business? We're going to use quality ingredients. We're going to follow up with them. We'll have birthday specials. We'll do all these things in a strategic way and layer in a little bit of Instagram and YouTube, on top of that, sprinkle it on top. And then there's principles of business, which is how do you acquire a customer? Let me break it out this way. I think this is one of my favorite Dan Kennedy things, is that there is, what market are you entering? What message do you want to articulate to the market that you're going to serve? And what media are you going to put that message into so that they see it? Now, those are business principles. So once you understand business at different levels, you can really start hitting on some of these things, and then you can generate demand, and that dictates prices. If you go back to the realtor example, if I'm really good at generating demand for myself, I don't have to discount my commission rate because I have 3 other people lined up to do business with me. It's like, hey, if you don't want that, Anthony, that's no problem. I'm busy. I got other things to do. This is my right. Take it or leave it. Mm-hmm. So prices are really dictated by demand. And if you have too much demand, what do? you raise prices. I mean, Rolex does this. They have limited releases. So they have a history of quality product. They have a market that they've curated. Well, why don't they just unleash like 1 million watches? Well, because they're building up the demand. They have some,
and it's so obvious that it's manipulated with these
yeah. Well, they're smart at what
limited drops.
Yeah, well, they're kind of smart at what they're doing. So it's just they're understanding business at a different level than kind of somebody else who says, "Well, my watch is quality. Like I have the better quality parts than Rolex." Yeah, but do you have the audience capture? Do you have the follow-up mechanisms? Do you have like? There's all these other things. So ultimately, prices are dictated to me at the base level at how good are you at creating demand? And if you were to reverse engineer demand, you have to understand principles of business. You have to understand strategies of marketing. And then you can start talking about tactics. But most people, like when they look at money or real estate or business, they're just looking at tactics. Like most people will talk about real estate at the tactical level. Student rentals versus BRRRR. They're not talking at macroeconomic level with interest rates and fiat dollar inflation, right? So they're not really understanding why they're getting some of the benefits of the real estate. In business, it's the same thing. TikTok's killing it. You got to be on TikTok. Well, they're not understanding that they're creating demand for themselves. And if the audience moves off TikTok to the next greatest social media thing,